Russell, thanks so much for doing this, my man. I think let's just get straight into it. Why don't you tell everyone kind of who you are and where you work? Start things off.
Yeah, no, so my name is Russell Mortlock. I live in Kelowna, BC, and last coming up on my first year in the business. So I got my license in February, relocated to a different city from where I'm from. I'm from a smaller town in Alberta, but wanted to locate to a more luxury, a bigger ticket city. And so I moved to Kelowna, BC to start my business as a realtor and got my license in February.
That's awesome, man. You're not even a year in, and we'll get into some of the numbers you're doing already. But yeah, I just wanted to preface this by saying Russell and I connected early in his career, and started talking about lead gen and stuff like that. And when we launched our new program, I was like, "Dude, you're perfect for this." And I told him about it, and he was like, "Yep, count me in." And so here we are, just about 3 months into our ownership program. So I'd love to hear if you could just give everyone a bit of a background. I mean, you're pretty much just about coming up on a year of being in real estate. If you can just share a little bit about what numbers you've done in that year and where some things started for you in our relationship and kind of how they've grown in the past few months, especially.
For sure. Yeah. So no, it was a good year overall. Did close to 21 million in sales so far. So that worked out to be about 29 deals. There's no secret the market's super busy. And I was dealing with mostly buyers. So it was a lot of I would say hustle and things like that
Yeah, for sure.
to get that done. It was a good year. Like ultimately, when I started, I thought I had a good plan on how I was going to get business, what I was going to do, and I would say I was kind of maybe focusing on the wrong things. So I could have probably done way better. Full on honesty was trying this, doing that, like doing all those old school ways that normal your broker or whoever tells you to do. And then I came across your YouTube channel, so I was originally trying to do all my Google ads myself. So I really didn't start doing the Google ads till probably about September, October range. Before I was doing it on a smaller scale, looking after myself. And one thing I really learned is you have to focus on what's important, and that's closing deals. It truly doesn't matter to me if I know how to run Google ads or any of that stuff. So I was spending hours and I would almost say wasting time learning skills and things that I didn't need to. And then came across, got in touch, and then went full rampant on the Google ads. So I think once I kicked it on in September, I did like another 15 deals just from Google ads. So if I would have been doing that the whole year from I started, it would have been a lot bigger numbers.
So just so everyone knows, it's February 2nd, 2022 right now. At the day of this recording, and Russell's done 15 deals since September. So that's 4 months. It's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, no, and it's in a challenging market too. You don't want to make no excuses. Everyone else is dealing with it. You know what I mean? You got to
Hmm.
find a way for yourself to win. And a lot of people are focusing on, say, like some of these leads only bring in buyers, but hey, if that's what you got to work with it, and then they turn into seller leads. But I've had a couple. Um, my last listing I sold, I got from my Google ads and things like that, where it turned and materialized into a sale. So I would say the biggest thing that your academy and stuff, it just started pointing me in the right direction with the vision I had with my team and what I wanted to build out. It's pretty cut and dry. It's going to accelerate what you're doing. Instead of me having to figure out how to train my SIA, how to run my Google ads, how to amalgamate all that, you guys taught us how to do the whole structure and was able to launch it right away, instead of me probably doing that for a year, putting in hours every day trying to figure it out.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's, I've even learned in my own business the value of mentorship. We started working with like a agency coaching program, and it gave us like the frameworks we needed to kind of take things to the next level. And actually the framework that they gave us the framework to build this program. We actually loved their program so much, we built this program with the same structure as theirs. So that was kind of interesting. And now we've kind of ditched everything else, and this is the only thing we're doing. We're going all in on this because of the results everyone's getting from it. So um yeah, it's awesome to hear, man. I mean, I felt like right away you were a good fit, and I could sense you were kind of doing some of the right things, and I'm glad we were able to kind of push you in the right direction. And I think the biggest thing with this is the scalability. And I think that's the point I always like to drive home is like a lot of times people, when you start doing door knocking or cold calling or things like that, there's only one of you. Like you can't scale yourself. And so I think that's a really big point of this program is like building leverage systems that will grow with you. Um, so like I just interviewed one guy we've been working with for a year, and he did 57 deals last year, right? I would not be surprised if you hit those numbers this year. So just I don't want to steal your thunder here, but Russell did 4 deals in January just from Google. Is that right?
Yeah, like 3 were from there. So like one was literally the guy signed up my website, and in 2 days we had accepted offer, which is not
Not the
typical.
normal, no,
Yeah.
not the norm. Yeah.
But I would say just your whole systems made it so much more seamless. I'm able to focus a lot more. Um, my goal personally is for me, my business partner, we want to do 10 deals a month now. And how we have it set up in our business is we're going to be able to do that with just Google ads alone. So then anything else that trickles in and some of the stuff that misfires, the 10 deals a month is quite easily broken down too.
I love that, man. I love how you have big ambitions. Like I think you can totally knock it out of the park. So I'm just looking forward to helping, you guys continue building on this journey. And one other thing that's really impressed me with you, I'd say like, the beginning of our program is a lot about setting up your ads and helping you hire and train an ISA. And we'll get into a bit more of that later, but you really embraced the video side of things right away, which was awesome. So if anyone wants to check out Russell on YouTube, he's YouTube's a slow start for anybody, but you're like expediting that process just by crushing it. So I'm just really excited to see where that goes. I mean, maybe you can speak to that a little bit, even like the video side of things.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's definitely a mindset change in that because you can't really, it has a lot of intangible effects, right? So
Yeah.
um, it works really well now putting it into our follow up. You can build that in so you're not like just annoying people like, hey, are the listings I'm sending you matching your criteria?
Yeah.
You say all the time, it's like, hey, I just made this video about the top 5 neighborhoods in Kelowna. I know you're interested in Wilden. I discuss it here. And you can send that stuff over. It's pretty neat. Like a lot of people have maybe a lot of objections about the current market. So I always make a market recap video, just talking about the market and how people who are sitting on the sidelines, however you phrase it, whatever your pitch is in terms of what you project the market's doing right now. I put that out. Then I had 3 people come and book showings with me that were saying that they were going to wait a year for the market to cool off. So it has a lot of intangible effects, and it's just kind of funny. Like even though like I'm just my first year in the business, people think you're an expert if you're on the internet. Not
So
saying that's a
true,
good
man.
thing or or
Well,
whatever.
here, if I can summarize like that, because I went through this too, right? With YouTube, is like, well, I started when I worked for a marketing agency. I started presenting on stage or on Facebook ads, and when I first started, I didn't know anything. I knew a little bit, but very little. And it's funny, as soon as you step on stage or you step in front of a camera and put yourself online, like YouTube, there's like the assumption that you're an expert. And even though you may not be an expert necessarily right away or feel that way, having yourself out there and bringing business to you by doing that will build you up as an expert in that process.
Totally, yeah. Like it has so many different effects that you can't really put a number or a dollar amount on what it's actually doing for your business. And like I find it pretty fun now. Like once you get rolling, you're always like kind of super nervous that people are gonna almost maybe hate on you in the
Yeah.
sense, but uh, I think that's probably gonna happen regardless if you're doing well or if you're trying to get more business. You're gonna have to do a lot of things that people are gonna judge you on. So if you're having kind of those thoughts and things, that's very normal. I know when I first started, I was trying to like do it all myself, try to figure it all out. And once again, like now I just get people to help me do it. And it's a lot easier in terms of the production and stuff, but just get started um, is probably my best advice.
Yeah, I think I'd agree because like once you get over the initial hurdle, like figuring out the basics, then it gets fun. At first, it's a little stressful as naturally it would be, but um, yeah, I've just been really impressed with your video stuff, and I can see that becoming a bigger and bigger part of what you're doing as you grow. And um, So I think what I'd like to ask you about next is the ISA. So if you can just maybe elaborate on your experience with kind of our, without giving it too much away, our system and kind of the ISA like recruitment process and training process and kind of what difference that's made in your business. Because you were, in our beta program, you were one of the, I think you were the first to the punch with the ISA. So you've been doing it kind of a little bit longer than some of the other people in the program.
For sure. Yeah. So now they're fully trained. My ISA, she's doing an amazing job. She's definitely crushing it. Because I know before I was doing calls for a minimum 4 hours a day. Like that was kind of my rule of thumb. I had to make a certain amount of contacts every single day. I had to do all these things, and now they're able to fill that gap where I just have to focus on my active clients who actually needs help. And the training process was easy. Like you guys laid it out. It was actually almost informative for me on how to handle leads. Like it helped me personally in what to do with people that I get on. So it was a good learning tool even for that metric. But your guys' process for the ISA was spot on, 100% on what they need to do. And it's pretty cut and dry, and it's laid out exactly for you what you need to do. You just need to implement it. So that's probably the biggest thing that I just saw is like, hey, if you just keep dragging it out a couple months later, why not just get it over and done with, get them going. And it worked really well. Like she's doing awesome. And that's the tough part about hiring. Like you're going to have some lemons. That just doesn't mean that the process is broken or the training material needs to be revamped. Um, you just got to believe in it, and it does work. It worked very well for my ISA.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, I think the ISA is kind of the one like bigger objection we get with because people are like, what? Like, I don't know if I want to like hire someone, but you kind of identified the problem there is like you're calling 4 hours a day, and then eventually you get too busy to stick to that because other things take priority. And by the time that happens, you don't have anything in place and you're too busy and then your leads are falling off and you're out doing more important stuff like showings and listing appointments and working with your clients and fulfilling your obligations to them, and then you almost have to like turn down your lead volume, which you never want to do. So just having that ISA as your backbone is like we're huge believers in that model, and like literally every one of our clients who does 50 deals or more a year from this has an ISA. Like it's just at this point it's almost a non-negotiable. It's like this is what you need. So it's so nice to hear that it's been successful for you right off the hop.
I would say it would even be beneficial for the person that is only a single agent and doing not as doesn't want to be this big massive team or volume, because the thing about real estate is you definitely you work a lot of hours and you sell your soul you sell your
Yeah.
soul to the business. And probably a lot of the people don't enjoy doing the calls. It was something I actually did thoroughly enjoy and made like a fun game about doing it. But if it just kind of helps out with your work life balance and you get to do the things that you like more, even if you're not wanting to be a mega producer, it's probably beneficial in that and too as well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that's where, the single agent is their own ISA essentially. And I think it's just about evolving out of that into, being more of a business owner and working on your business more than in your business. Cause, it's pretty easy to get someone if you train them right to field all of your initial contacts with people. And then just, you can find yourself in a position where you just work with the creme de la creme, if you will, people a little bit lower in the funnel. So I guess thanks for sharing your experience. I mean, I guess what would you say to someone who was kind of on the fence or wasn't sure about the return on investment or like was worried maybe about the timeline or maybe they're just new to this whole thing? What would you say to that person?
I would say buy in now because it's the new way of doing real estate. Like it's super simple, cut and dry. Get
I
in,
didn't pay Russell to say this, by the way. It's just everyone knows.
like just get it done. Like it's gonna help. It and if you kind of stick in the past, like people are already going to be ahead of you. So if you can adopt these early methodologies on how to transform your business, it's it always helps people who adopt things faster. So it'll work well.
Awesome. Well, hey, Russell, I really appreciate your time and hopping on and doing this. I think it's really valuable for, like I said, anyone thinking about jumping on board with us. So thank you. And, we still got time left in the program and I hope you stick around even a bit longer. I'm sure you will, but we'll talk about that maybe coming up here. So thanks again, Russell, and I look forward to continuing on.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for everything. You helped my business a lot.
All right, brother. Appreciate your time.